Bruce Warren is an archaeologist affiliated with Brigham Young University and is one of the foremost scholars in relation to the Azapan culture of
They seem to be
Chiapas.
saying that the land of first inheritance is west of Nephi, down in the borders by the West Sea.
When Bruce Warren reaches the other side of the veil, he just may want to find and say thank you to an unknown Bible-thumping man from the South who started him on the path to become one of the foremost scholars of Mesoamerican archaeology and its relationship to the Book of Mormon. Bruce was a young missionary in North Carolina and Tennessee, where he met a man who spent a week trying to prove the Book of Mormon was wrong. The young elder decided that he would find some answers to such criticisms, so he went to BYU after his mission and enrolled with a major in archaeology. He studied with M. Wells Jakeman, Ross Christensen, and Irene Woodford, among others. Bruce later obtained his Ph.D. in anthropology from the University of Arizona at Tucson in 1978. Bruce and his young family lived in Chiapas in southern Mexico for 9 years, while locating and researching sites for the New World Archaeological Foundation. His 4 children were born in Mexico. While there, he identified many ancient sites and mounds in that area and performed numerous excavations. Dr. Warren did archaeological studies along the Grijalva River and other tropical waterways, and performed pioneering research in identifying different styles of pottery throughout Mesoamerica. In large measure, from Bruce's work, a continuous sequence of ceramic shard analysis was established from the pre-classic period, around 1500 BC, down through the colonial period. Bruce returned to Utah and shared his knowledge with others while continuing to research for nearly 3 decades at BYU as a professor of archaeology and the scriptures. He was one of the key members of the Society for Early Historic Archaeology and editor of the SEHA Foundational Newsletter. He later became an officer and president, then director of research, for a successor organization, the Ancient America Foundation, or AAF. One of Bruce's primary research interests was the Mixtec and other pre-colonial writings and codices and cultural history connections. While he always studied these with an eye to possible Book of Mormon connections, his work followed strictly scientific methods and guidelines. In his early chronology studies in the Olmec or Jaredite time period, Bruce made some compelling links between the king lists in the Nuttall Codex and the rulers described in the Book of Ether. At Caminal Huyu, a site that now lies in the metropolitan area of Guatemala City, Bruce made one of his most important discoveries.
About 45 to 50 years ago, a very important archaeological monument was found in the site of Caminal Huyu in Highland, Guatemala. And today we have come to the point in the study of the area that we can give you the significance of that monument. What it has is a brief story of a father and son king. The father is put to death, his son is put into captivity, and later on replaces his father on the throne. Now, this all happens in 147 BC, a year that in the Book of Mormon is when King Noah and his son Limhi had these parallel experiences. Now, this is a drawing of so-called stelaten, or the throne. You can see the one individual here has a trident upside down over his eye. But there are 3 calendars dating this event.
Bruce says that one of the great truths he has learned in his career is that archaeology can be a great burden on one's shoulders, and that this field of study is definitely not for sissies.